and welcome back to another episode of We're Watching Star Trek, the original series. As always, I am Brandon, and we are here again with Paul.
Yo, what's up, people? Apparently, I had microphone issues for a long time, but Brandon came over and gave me the good, so hopefully my voice is nice and deep and sexy for you people out there, you hear me? Star Trek, let's do it.
All right, Dan, is your voice nice and deep and sexy as well today?
Absolutely not. I can't top Paul. Paul's the ladies' man.
Yeah, we're going to use our nice and deep and sexy voices to talk about Season 1, Episode 27, The Alternative Factor. The original air date for this was March 29th, 1967, and we have, 2 episodes left after this one, and we are going to be done with this series, or this season. Sorry, not with the series.
Hey, I'm excited. We're getting there. Slowly but sure, it's been a grind, but honestly, I've enjoyed it a lot, so I can't really complain.
Yeah. So the episode starts, as a lot of them do, on the bridge of the Enterprise, and some people are just doing stuff, and Kirk and Spock, or Kirk asks Spock about the planet that Spock is scanning, and basically the planet's pretty boring, Spock says. There's not a whole lot of shit going on, and so Kirk wants a cartographic scan. And he tells Mr. Leslie, who is at the helm, that about 4 more orbits should be enough for them to get their scans, and then they're going to lay in a course for Starbase 200. So, man, they have a shit ton of starbases.
I got an issue here. Where's my boy Sulu at, man? We got two
day off.
We got 2 of him in the front. Where's Sulu? I'm not understanding. We have issues here.
Yep, he's got the day off. Scotty has the day off. Janice is fucking dead, apparently. She's just gone forever.
I told you, man. She got pregnant, man. She off for long, man. She got popping kids out, something.
I really want more of that guy that we saw when Spock was in charge, Boma. I want that dude back.
Yeah. He's a pretty good actor.
Yeah. They're just cruising along doing their thing, and then suddenly the ship starts to shake, and we get this really weird overlaid image of some stars and a nebula, and that shows up on the screen, and at first I thought it was a heart. I was like, what the fuck is this? But it's not a heart. It's like a nebula.
I want to clarify the words I wrote down about that. I'm looking at my notes exactly what I said. I put, what trash CGI? What in the hell happened? What were they thinking? Because this, for a show this incredibly awesome, this was the worst ever. And by ever, I mean ever thing I ever saw CGI-wise in this show. It was, oh my God, it's bad. It's bad. I mean, let's clarify it. It's bad, man. It looks terrible.
Even for 60s standards, I don't think it was that great.
Even also, it just...
Every time it happened, it took me back to the cartoon, The Super Friends. Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom.
It was that was really bad. I don't get it. Because later on, I'm going to compliment how cool something else was. And that was just, maybe it's just me being me. I don't know. I'm just saying, I just don't think.
But this whole episode felt like it was something they filmed at the beginning of the series. It felt really low budget compared to what we've hit recently.
It did.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was another one of those out of order things or what the deal was.
Maybe they ran out of money from the past episodes.
Just blew the whole budget.
Nice looking planet.
Just lure you in with those expensive episodes. We'll put attraction at the end. That way, that way they don't feel so bad about it.
That's why Janice is gone. She just wanted too much money and they couldn't pay her anymore.
They couldn't afford it no more, yeah.
They booted her.
So I want $2 per episode. $2 per episode. How dare you? Fire her now.
A woman in the 70s? Get out of here.
For $2? No way.
So they shake around and we get that weird image, and then Kirk asks Spock what happens because he's supposed to fucking know everything, and Spirk, yes, good old Spirk. Spock explains that twice now the entire magnetic field in the solar system has just simply blinked, and he says that the planet below them obtained 0 gravity, and Spock says that what he's talking about basically is that non-existence happened twice there.
No, hold up. If the planet experienced 0 gravity, wouldn't it logically rip itself apart with no gravity holding it together?
Dan, don't come to this science fiction with your science. We're here only for the fiction part.
Okay,
sorry.
I will counterbalance that with maybe that what the images, all that imagery was when that terrible CGI was the idea of them splitting, not existing for a minute. I don't know. It's very this episode is like I like this episode a lot, by the way, but I want to a lot of the big scientific ideas I didn't comprehend really and understand. I just accepted them as they were and called it.
But if it was a quick blink though, that wouldn't destabilize the entire thing, would it? If it's like a quick millisecond blink of zero gravity, it's not like it was zero gravity for minutes at a time.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all.
It would just seem like, like your atoms would all fly apart like instantly in that millisecond, but maybe not.
Well, there's zero gravity in space and they don't fly apart.
No, that's true. I was kind of thinking like the galaxy was experiencing like
just mass
a rip apart
destabilization.
Almost. Yeah, that's how I took it.
Okay.
I didn't really understand exactly what all the science behind it, to be honest with
That's
you.
okay, neither did I.
I didn't understand a lot of it, but I kind of just roll with it.
Well, the reason I thought that, and when we get later into the episode, obviously they explain, the big reveal about two universes dying. That's kind of what made me jump to that conclusion.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Uhura interrupts with a standard general alert signal from Starfleet Command, and Kirk then puts the whole crew on alert. And Spock reports that he's found a new life object on the planet's surface, and he says that it's apparently a human. So Kirk wants to know if the being there could present danger to the ship, and Spock says, yeah, that's very possible. But, I mean, it's very possible.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, everything does, in this show.
Yeah. Could be yes, could be no. 50-50, It didn't really help him out at all.
I think what's more shocking here is the fact that he ordered a security team right after that to come down to Earth with him. Immediately, a bunch of knucklehead security team that are useless. He wants them with him again.
That is, yeah.
I don't understand why.
That's exactly my note, is that Kirk tells Uhura to notify security to have an armed attachment of men ready to beam down, and then he heads to the transporter room, and why the fuck is he bringing security? Does he, maybe he just wants them for the conversation,
It's funny because, it's been a long time since security has been down with them that often. So now I'm noticing it less and less, like he knows better.
Yeah.
I'm sure the security guards weren't happy. They're like, oh, great, one of us isn't coming back today.
Right. Who's it going to be?
Oh, man, Ralph. I can't believe he's gone.
Or probably more like, fuck that guy.
They got a Deadpool
on the Enterprise.
Yeah, they got a Deadpool, bro. I was thinking about that. They got Deadpool, which guy's going to die next? And then we'd be betting money down. Like, oh my God, it's Ralph. Like, who had Ralph? I had Ralph.
You think?
Yeah.
You think that's a big insult? Like, they get in an argument, and it's like, yeah, why don't you go fuck yourself? Like, yeah, well, I hope you have to go to a planet with Kirk soon, you piece of shit.
They're like, that's uncalled for.
People are like, whoa, funny, too far. Too fucking far.
Oh, yeah, they go too far, man. Like, oh, man, that's messed up, dude. I wouldn't wish that on you or your kids.
So we get the show's opening, and then they do beam down to the planet while Kirk is giving a captain's log, just explaining the situation. And Kirk and Spock and 4 security guards are down there, and they're looking for the mysterious being, and they find a small ship. And they go to investigate the ship, and a guy just starts yelling at them from up on a rock. Ship. Yeah, it does look a lot like the Jetsons ship, yeah. So, I guess that was pretty common. Because when did the Jetsons air? Was it the 60s or was it the 70s?
Oh man,
I'm not sure.
Right
honestly.
Around that time, I'd imagine.
Well, I got my phone out, so I'll look it up as I'm sitting here talking.
I hate the Jetsons anyway. I've always hated that show.
I didn't mind the Jetsons. The Flintstones better than Jetsons?
No, actually, I hate the Flintstones as well. All of those old cartoons I hate.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. See, no, you can't hate both. That's blasphemy. You gotta like one or the other.
I hate all old cartoons.
1962.
62. Wow. So they ripped this straight from the Jetsons. Yeah.
I also put a note about that too. How much it looked like one of the old school style UFOs they used to have. The idea they thought UFOs looked like.
They probably also thought that was going to be like a car soon too. Because if you've seen old the future. This is the car of tomorrow. It looks like that ship.
Yeah, they've been promised flying cars forever.
Yeah.
Yes, still. But 60 years later, it's 1960. 60 years later, there's still no flying cars.
Yeah.
There's cars still don't run on gasoline. I mean, there's other ways too, but still gasoline, still oil. It's been 60 years, and technology hasn't progressed as far as they thought it would in TV shows and on all types of TV shows. That's been interesting in a way,
Right.
Well, hell, a few episodes ago, they said that we broke space travel. In 2018.
Yeah, something
during
like
the
that.
or during the one with Khan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Speed of light. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're investigating this
That's a
ship,
good
and then
point.
like a guy just starts yelling to them from high up on a rock and saying that he needs help, and then he just like faints and falls down the rocks. And Kirk and everybody else they run over to help him out. So we go to a little bit later on the Enterprise, and there's an engineer. I think I got her name later, and I didn't think she was gonna like keep showing up in this episode, so I didn't take down her name now. But she explains that their dilithium crystals are drained from the phenomenon that was happening, and it could bring them trouble. And Kirk's like, well, we're in pretty big trouble because without those crystals, we're going to lose power. And they said that their orbit will begin to decay in about 10 hours. I'm like, yay, another race against time, because we don't see this every fucking episode. And then again, though, they just
Which
don't
they didn't
mention
harp on it
again.
after that, though, at least.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Honestly, because they didn't need that.
Right. Yeah,
They
and
didn't need
they've
that
done
at
that
all, so
last
it's
few
one of those
episodes.
things where
Like
they
they
added
do a
on
race against time,
for no
and then they
reason.
never talk about it again. So I mean, and that's fine. That's fine. I don't want that to always be the big bad. Is it's time.
Yeah. No matter what, though, it's kind of it's the small bad all the time.
Yeah.
It's in there all the time, honestly. So it's just kind of a waste, I think,
Right.
at this point.
Is Father Time the big bad of the overall
Of every
arching villain of the
universe.
season?
Yeah,
Of life.
of all movies and TV shows.
I think Father Time's the big enemy of life, and not think about it. But I'm fighting Father Time every day. I'm getting old. I understand that, actually.
So Spock, he reports that nothing else has happened on the scanners, so I don't know why he reported anything at all. But he did find out that the effect, whatever it was strongest on the planet nearest them. And then Uhura gets a call from Starfleet Command for Code Factor 1, and Kirk announces that to the crew that it's an invasion status and that they have to report to their battle station. So basically they're treating this whole phenomenon as an invasion because they think that someone is coming after them. So McCoy calls Kirk, and he's like, hey, our crazy dude here, he's going to be all right. And then that's really all he has to say.
And then takes off that quick.
Yeah. So Kirk then gets a message he takes a video call, like a video conference, and it's there's a Starfleet Commodore that tells him that the effect that they experienced happened in every quadrant of the galaxy, and the Commodore wants to know what Kirk thinks, and Kirk also believes that it's a prelude to an invasion. So the Commodore places Kirk in charge of finding out what's going on, and
See, place Kirk in charge sounds like he's just like, oh yeah, you're in charge. No. First of all, he says, hey, you're screwed.
yeah.
You're there by yourself. You ain't getting no backup, and it's only you, and we have no idea what's going on out there. Have fun. Like these Commodores are
from
jerks,
the
man.
Federation.
Yeah, he told Kirk that he evacuated the rest of Starfleet in the area. And so Kirk's just like, are we just the bait then? And he doesn't even answer. He just says, good luck. have fun.
Yeah, I'm saying. It's like, dude, these Commodores are jerks, man.
Do you think, like, obviously everybody holds Kirk and the Enterprise in high regard, but maybe the Starfleet is just willing to lose them because maybe they're like the shitty ones. Like maybe everybody else is going out having better adventures and doing better stuff. And like we just happen to be following like the worst one.
The worst team?
Yeah.
That's why everybody keeps dying, huh?
Yeah.
Actually, the worst. We think they're the best, but they're actually the worst.
Yeah.
That's
why the Starfleet's willing to lose them. They're just hoping that they die.
That's funny. That's funny.
They're like, we put our best men on the job. Like, wink, wink. So they hang up from their conversation, and Kirk has just a quick talk with Spock about what's going on, and Kirk decides to go to talk to the guy from the planet that they rescued. So a little bit later, the mysterious man is explaining to Kirk that he was chasing somebody and that's how he ended up down on that planet. And he says that the thing he's been chasing has destroyed his entire civilization. So Kirk asks him, he's like, hey, what about all that crazy shit that happened? And the guy's like, oh, yeah, it was me chasing him that caused that. And he asked Kirk.
That's one hell of a chase.
Yeah. And Kirk asked him to help, or actually he asked Kirk to help on his holy cause to destroy the creature. And Kirk is like, I think I'm just going to go back to the planet and check shit out for myself.
Well, Kirk learns to be a little bit more cautious now, taking people at their word. So, he just want to, I understand what you're saying, but let me go ahead and check it out for myself, I just want to know.
Well, that beard made him look pretty shady. I would have questioned him too.
Yeah, I wrote a note about that beard. I put
what the
beard
fuck?
style. What? Yes, literally. I was like, I don't understand if that's a real beard or not.
There's no way.
And then there's a moment a little bit later I'm gonna have us look at is he missing his beard?
Oh, I didn't notice anything like that.
Like, yeah. So like the other half of him, we find out later, like, I swear there's a point where I see no beard. I'm like, yo, is he missing it? And there's a whole scene where he doesn't have a beard on. Maybe I'm tripping out. But I noticed that. I was like, no, I let it go. And I was like, well, I don't want to start it over again. But later on, we're going to see this later and see if I'm tripping out.
Right.
I swear his beard's missing.
Huh. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. I just thought that maybe Kirk was like, as soon as he mentions his holy cause, Kirk is like, all right, it's one of those. We're done. Like, I'm going to go do my own thing now.
One of those crazy religious guys. We got to go.
Yep.
That's funny.
So we go back down to the planet, and Spock is investigating the little ship, and Kirk and Crazy Man show up. I don't know why the fuck he brought him with him, but Kirk explains the guy's story to Spock, and Spock says that their sensors don't show any other people on the planet, and that he thinks that Kirk has been lied to. And Crazy Man here is like, he asks why Kirk believes Spock, because Kirk's like, yeah, I think you might be right here, Spock. And Spock just says that he simply has made the logical deduction that the man is a liar. It's just like, goddamn, Spock, like when you call people liars and shit, man, you really just go all into that. Like, just outright call him a liar.
Yeah, like he said it. It's the way he said it. Yeah, the way he said, like, I know what you're saying, but dude, like, my facts say you're a liar.
Yeah,
like,
not even like, I think
right
maybe something else is going
like,
on. Like, maybe you're mistaken, but he's like, no, you're a fucking liar.
Maybe you don't have all the facts, sir. Like,
right.
Take a minute. Like, nah,
yeah, you're a lying piece of shit.
Yeah, immediately in front of everybody, in front of your mom, your dad, your girl. Like, I know you're lying. I can see the drama now. Spock would be really cool to be around, in real life. I think he'd be cool to have a friend.
He would fucking call you out on everything, like every little thing.
I know. It would be amazing. It would be an amazing friendship, just like I do now to call all my friends.
Like, you couldn't even
everything.
slightly embellish anything, because he's gonna go, well, I've done the calculations, and logically, like, dude, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah,
that's bullshit.
Nah, he'll be a good wingman for you. Spock, he got you.
Just don't put him in charge of anything, because then he wants to maroon your ass on a
Scotty's
planet.
your wingman.
So Kirk asks the guy for the truth, but then the crazy effect happens again, and the guy, who we now learn is called Lazarus. Of course he is. He looks like a fucking Lazarus. But Lazarus runs away. And he's running through this desert-like planet, and then that crazy effect with the nebula thing keeps happening. It sounds like a lightning kind of noise. And he hears a voice yelling at him that says that, it'll chase him through all the fires of hell. And then suddenly, Lazarus finds himself under physical attack when we get, and I swear to God, Paul, if this is the effect that you say that you like,
yes, it is.
I'm coming to your fucking house.
I swear to God, I love this effect,
on your toes.
Bro. This is my favorite effect of probably of this show so far. And you know why?
No.
I'll tell you why right now. Because it is out of nowhere, and it is such a cool way to depict the fight that I've never seen before. And that's why I liked it. I've seen thousands of movies, okay? Tens of thousands of movies. I'm a movie junkie, and never in their history have I thought somebody have the audacity to put this ridiculous CGI thing on something. I love it. I think it's
a fucking negative filter that's just spinning in a goddamn circle.
I know
terrible.
that, but nobody does this though, dude. Nobody, and that's the thing about it.
I was just about to say, it reminded me of the Spider-Man game fight with Mr. Negative.
Yeah,
because it's a negative filter. Everything light became dark. Everything dark became light.
I like it so much, dude. You have no idea. I thought, that's so cool to me because I've never.
I thought it looked cheesy. I'm spraying it on this one.
I fucking hated it.
No. Cheese. I think, of course, I think it's cheesy. I just like it though. I think it's cheesy as hell. But I just like it because I've never seen it before. That's why I like it.
I mean, I liked it better than their betrayal of like the universe shaking. That was really bad.
And the second part about it is,
I just think this one was.
You got to remember, this is the 1960s CG wise. You got to take that mind off how awesome it would look right now. Because I think it would look really cool if someone did it right now, like with a negative thing and make something look cool. That sounds awesome. This looks okay. I liked it. It's okay. I'm giving you props for the CGI out there for that one. I like the design. I thought it was cool. So. I'm the
Yeah, I
one.
guess that's a big issue is like I do not like the effect, but I really don't know what else they could have done to show what was happening with this guy. So like while I hated it, I don't have a better alternative.
Oh yeah, see, me personally, I like it a lot because I just think that it's really different, and I never would have thought about doing that particularly. I don't know. I just think it's really cool. It's almost like a cheap, like almost like it kind of reminds me of almost like the Predator, but not cool because the Predator does it awesome.
Yeah. Definitely not cool.
You know, like not as cool as the Predator is. Like the Predator's really cool, but the heat vision thing, that's how I felt like it was. Man, it could have been this. I like it.
So so we get this crazy effect, and then Lazarus collapses, and Kirk approaches him and asks what happened, and he explains that he was attacked again, and Spock confirms that his readings show that the effect was centered on almost the very spot where they were fighting. And Lazarus explains the thing as all white and black, and he says that it's a big, terrible emptiness, basically, and then we go to a commercial break. So we come back from the commercial break. We got another captain's log just going over the situation, and Lazarus is in the sick bay with McCoy, and Kirk enters. He goes to the bridge, and Kirk goes to talk to Spock about the situation, and they kind of wonder about how the phenomenon keeps happening, and Spock points out that it happens exactly when Lazarus has his confrontations. So McCoy then calls Kirk to the sick bay and explains to Kirk that after bandaging Lazarus's forehead, he left the room for a moment, and when he came back in, there was not a trace of injury on Lazarus. And Kirk wants to know, he's like, all right, well, where's Lazarus now? And McCoy just says, well, I don't know. And it was at this point I was like, okay, I think I kind of see what's happening here.
I kind of went that way. I thought maybe they were twins, and that one was bad, one was good, and one kept trying to fight the other one. I kind of thought about that, but I didn't think it was like as big as it was until Spock explained a little bit later about the universes being in danger. I think it was that level.
Yeah, I thought he had like split personalities.
Yeah, I thought it was like a Jekyll and Hyde thing. I had an idea, but I was also way off at the same time, which is awesome. So thank God they didn't go the predictable route.
Yep, agree.
Also, McCoy really dropped the ball saying, oh, it's a big ship. He could be anywhere. Like, come on. Like,
right.
We don't know this dude.
Yeah, they just let this random fucking guy walk around the ship. He's like, well, where's he at? I ain't got a fucking clue. Why not, dude? He's in your care.
I would like to clarify that they've been letting people walk around the ship the whole show. They have not been trying to... They pay
for it every day.
They haven't learned a lesson yet.
They've not been giving security thing to anybody. They've been letting them do what the hell they want to do. This is not a surprise.
Yeah.
Like, it's not
Why didn't they just hand him a fucking technical manual of the ship?
Though.
You know? They gave old dude, what was that? Damn, I forgot, Khan. They gave Khan the text and stuff like that. They give him like I said, whatever you want to do, you can do on the ship. So I don't see...
Yeah, the
no
sacred
different.
Jedi texts.
Yeah, for real. This ain't no secret, so I didn't really seem surprised by that at all, honestly. And we still don't have a system.
They're very trustworthy in the future.
We still don't have something that they can hit a button to scan the ship to locate body signs. And like, I don't understand why we can't hit someone on the ship to scan the ship, or like a button or a space or something, or some kind of screen, something. It don't make any sense that people this far in technology can't find a way to scan the ship to show where the alien people aren't human are, or something like that. I
have a similar note for that a little bit later on too.
Yeah, so
we're on the same page with that one.
Okay, cool. I find it kind of weird.
So we go to the crew lounge, and Lazarus is in there, and nobody notices. Like, nobody gives a shit that this weird guy with torn up clothes and the weirdest fucking facial hair they've ever seen is just chilling in their crew lounge. And he's watching one of the security guards kind of flirt with that engineer from earlier. For some reason, she starts talking about the dilithium crystals because she's all about work, and then that gets Lazarus's attention.
Okay.
So he follows them out the door because they're gonna go handle this crystal shit, and he comes under attack.
Yeah,
again.
they are.
Yeah.
I do want to comment about something you just said about the whole in the crew lounge. I have noticed, maybe it's more aspect than other Star Trek shows, but the crew and their guests normally dine in the same area. So maybe that cruise ground actually is a recreational lounge for anybody, even including guests that are on the ship.
Yeah, they probably don't have a separate lounge for guests.
I don't think it's separate. Yeah, a lot of times I see them talking to each other, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm pretty sure that maybe it's not actually a crew lounge. It's a regular lounge. Therefore, them seeing him in there wouldn't be a big deal because they know he's probably a guest of the captain, so he'll have free reign on wherever he wants to be at.
I would still be a little concerned about this beat up looking dude with all of his torn up clothes just fucking chilling in there doing nothing.
I get it.
Do you belong here? Like, should you?
I get it, but
you want to go to the sick bay
but
or
I'm
something?
assuming as a Star Trek person on the ship, you've seen so many crazy things that a guy and might beat up clothes ain't nothing compared to the things you've seen in space. So I just like, oh god.
Well, aren't they under a red alert still?
Yeah, they're still supposed to be at battle stations.
No, not red alert. Alert status, I believe he changed it. He didn't say red alert. He said alert status. Red alert, it beeps the whole time. It keeps beeping with the red thing, signals going on. There's no red things going on. This is just alert status.
Yeah, but they should still be alerted. They did not seem alert at all.
Yeah, it's alert. It's alert status. I think that's something different.
They're like, we're on break. We're going to take. We don't care that there's a strange homeless-looking guy in the rec room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Kirk had to make an announcement over the intercom. He's like, "Look, even though you are at your battle stations, remember union mandates that you have to take a 15-minute break every 4 hours. So they have to leave and go take their break."
Do you know? I wonder if that's a thing. I never see. I wonder if there's like a Star Trek like nerd thing out there that gives you like rules and regulations of the Federation. I wonder if you can find that somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure there are. Yeah, I'm sure.
I'd imagine.
Yeah, I bet there. Yeah. I'm curious about what the regulations are now that we started watching this show, and I've been thinking about like the rules and things like that. I've been slowly like always ask a question about that, but never been to look it up myself. So I think I need to do that one day, or maybe we should. I don't know. Watch a video or something on that.
We can learn all about Starfleet's rules and regulations when everybody watches the new episode of Starfleet Academy every Thursday on Paramount Plus, starting in 2026. Written by Paul Crowder.
Yes, exactly. oh yes, yeah, exactly. I'm definitely down for that one.
Yes, you got to write all the rules now.
Yeah, make my own rules up.
So yeah, Lazarus follows them outside of the hallway, and then he comes under attack again. But when the attack ends, his bandage that was not on his head is now currently on his head. So he's got a whole new Band-Aid out of nowhere. So Kirk and Bones, they enter the corridor to find Lazarus, and McCoy takes the bandage off of Lazarus to reveal his wound. And Kirk gets a call from Spock just requesting his presence on the bridge. So he and Lazarus just go that way. It's really weird.
I miss you.
Yeah. Captain, it's been 5 minutes. I'm really getting lonely out here. It's weird that Kirk is going to take Lazarus with him. He's like, he's got a disappearing wound. He's acting real weird. He's got a weird-ass beard. And just take him to the bridge. So fuck it.
Yeah, why would you take someone you don't know to the bridge? Yeah. The most vital point of the ship.
See,
yeah,
this
confine
time,
him to his quarters.
I feel like he's trying to keep him at his side so he knows where he is at all times. But
confine his ass to his quarters. He'll be there at all times.
You're taking him to the most active spot you don't need him at. You know, but you keep, but you want him with you at all times to keep an eye on him. So you're like trying to be. I get what he's doing. I just can't. It's just where he's doing it. That's my issue.
All you got to do is tell him, like, look, you have to go to this room. You have to stay there. We're going to post a guard outside to the right with his back to you. So when you want to leave, you just come out there, knock out that guard, and then you're free to go.
Be facing the door.
Yeah.
You're free to go. Just knock him out and you're good to go.
Get out of here. And the keys to the car are under the mat.
Yep. The code to the front door.
Don't they have like a jail cell on the Enterprise somewhere, like where you can lock up people?
They really seem to just quarantine them to a room. Yeah.
Confine them to quarters.
I'm assuming that there's door.
See, that's what I'm going to say. I'm assuming there's a way to put them in a room and then make sure the door doesn't work. But they don't do it like that, so they'll make that another security issue. Yeah,
they put their smallest, weakest guard out there and tell them to face anywhere but the door.
Put your back to the door at all times. No, put your back right up against the door. There you go. Good job.
Yep.
You know what would make it perfect? The guards were actually playing on their phones, not paying attention.
Yeah. You think they get sweet apps on those communicators? What? They're over there like playing Flappy Bird or something.
So
Flappy Bird.
I watched the show. As we like I said, everybody people know I watch the episodes as we're like talking about them, so I have a reference or something. I like to look at them. I just noticed that in the background, the sign alert is a red alert sign blinking. So maybe you're right, Brendan.
But there's no red lighting going on.
In the background, every once in a while, there's red lighting in between the panels in the background in the hallways randomly. They're blinking red. I've been noticing. I started noticing just now, like randomly.
All right.
Yeah, so maybe they're still in red light the whole time, which is weird. But there's no sound going on, and people aren't moving at a high rate of movement. Like moving
they're
fast.
Chilling in the fucking lounge.
Yeah. So I don't know, that's kind of weird, but you're right on that.
Yeah, so we go back to the bridge where Spock shows Kirk and Lazarus the source of radiation on the planet, and Kirk asks how the scanners might have missed it when they scanned originally, and Spock says that it's because it's not really there. And he explains that the scanners show that nothing causing the effect is there, but he thinks that it could be a rip in their universe. And he says he was unable to localize it with their dilithium crystals. So they went from like crazy guy crashed, we don't know what's going on, to hey, there's a fucking hole in the universe. Which you just need like some flex tape, just slap it right over there, and that'll hold that thing in place.
Little duct tape. Duct tape says everything.
Yeah, the flex seal or whatever the fuck that shit is.
Flex seal and duct tape.
Yep.
We're good to go.
Which is the tad tip of a Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, but saying
just a little bit.
Yep, we're good to go.
So Lazarus thinks that they could use the crystals to defeat the creature that he's after, and he asks Kirk to give them to him, and Kirk is like, "You think I'm fucking dumb? Like we need those to power the ship." So Lazarus says that the creature is going to destroy their ship, and Kirk grabs him and asks him how it. He's like, "How does it present a danger to my ship?" And Lazarus just leaves. Like he says he's going to get his vengeance, and then he just fucking leaves. And we actually follow him into the corridor where he has another attack, like a panic attack, I guess. And then he comes out of it, and he finds his way to the engineering room. So inside the engineering room, that one engineer chick is working, and there's a security officer that tells her, "Hey, Kirk is calling you right now. You need to go to another room for some reason to answer it." And so she goes and does that. And she talks to Kirk, and he asks her to like just get this experiment ready with the dilithium crystals. But while he's talking to her back in the other room, Lazarus chokes out a security guard.
Here we go. Let's get to it again. These clowns, man.
Yep.
But I don't think is he security guard or is he part of their team in there?
Well, I don't remember.
I thought he was part of the
wearing
team.
was he wearing a red shirt or a blue shirt?
He's wearing a red shirt, but I don't think he's security. I thought he was in there with her.
Well, maybe he does both. Maybe he's security and he works with the crystals.
Yeah, I don't know, but overall, this whole so a minute right before this, whatever, right when Crazy Eyes, I call him, and Crazy Eyes are talking over here. He says, "I beg you, I plead for you." Then he says, "I demand you." Like we talking about getting the crystals.
Yeah.
Like first he's like, "Oh, I'm begging you." Like, "Oh, I'm pleading with you." Now, I demand you. Like, whoa, bro. Like your attitude is a little crazy, and that's why Kirk grabbed them up. You know, like. And the more and more this episode is going, the more and more I realize how crazy this dude is. Like at first I thought he was, normal. And next thing I know, this dude is becoming more Looney Tunes as this goes along.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it though.
I did just read something that's going to change our entire perception of the security team on here. And apparently red shirt denotes a low-ranking officer. So it's not a position, it's a rank. So all of their security teams are like cadets and shit.
Are they the newbies? You put the newbies on security?
Yep.
What are
No wonder why they have so many issues.
Are you kidding? You put the newbies on security? These clowns?
That's why they suck so fucking bad.
That's why this sucks? Oh my. You know what? History has to know we need to get rid of this thing right now. No more lowly new people on security. No.
Yep.
Oh wow.
So yeah, that guy was probably just like a lower ranking engineer. So you're right. Yeah, he probably was not security.
Okay.
But he was choked out, and after Lazarus chokes him out, he goes into the room with the other chick and renders her unconscious as well with some kind of fucking weird like tube thing. I have no clue what the hell that thing was. He just like sticks this little.
It looked like a needle / like liquid. Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, he's just like, "Here, sniff this," and then she's like, "Oh, Kirk, help me!" And then she like passes out. He's like, "This is my bottled 10-year-old farts," and just like makes her smell it, and she passes out.
I did have a small issue with the part right here that she got words out, so the captain knew that he was taking over.
Yeah,
I didn't like that, and I don't know why. I thought if he was stabbed in the neck fast enough, she wouldn't be able to get words out, and because you're literally at the end of the conversation. Like, why would you? Choke her up in the middle of the conversation? Why would you wait till she was done and then get her? That way Kirk wouldn't know what was going on.
Because he's a desperate man and he is not thinking. He's just going to go do the thing he needs to do.
I don't like that.
My issue with this whole thing is that after this whole thing happens, we go back to the bridge and Uhura tells Kirk that she's like, "Hey, security reports that Lazarus is missing." And then we go to a commercial break. Missing from where? He left the bridge like 5 fucking seconds ago. Like, he literally leaves the bridge, goes next door to engineering and does this, and they're like, hey, Lazarus is missing. Like, fucking missing from where? Where's he supposed to be?
Where's he supposed to be at? Yeah. That's a good point.
Maybe they aren't the cream of the crop that are flying around in the Federation. Maybe they are the low class.
They're the low class.
They're like, they have the fucking like the cognitive ability of a baby, because like in the very beginning of their life, infants don't understand that people and things can go behind other things. So like, it just, when something goes behind something, it just ceases to exist to them. And so like, when Lazarus leaves the bridge and the door closes, they're like, oh my god, he's gone, like he's disappeared. Like, he's missing. Where is he?
Where is he? Yeah, I get your point now. I understand what you're trying to say. That's funny.
Like, we didn't pick up David Blaine, did we?
It's fucking magic.
Like a little kid, you hide behind a pillow, they start screaming, thinking you're gone. Mama,
Yeah.
mama! They see you again, like, oh, okay. I understand exactly what you're trying to say.
Yeah. So we come back from the commercial break, and then we get a captain's log that says that 2 of their dilithium crystals are missing, so they can't operate at full power. And Kirk is interrogating Lazarus, because we never find out where the fuck they found him or what they did. He was missing, and now they're interrogating him. And he denies that he even took the crystals. And Lazarus says that the beast took the crystals, and Kirk just wants to know how it got on his ship. And Lazarus is like, I don't fucking know, dude. I'm really crazy if you haven't figured that out by now. And Spock asks why the beast needs the crystals. And Lazarus says that it wants them so that it can escape. And Kirk's like, all right, we're going back down to the planet again. We're going to go investigate this radiation source. So they do that. They go back to the planet, and they don't find the crystals on Lazarus's ship. And Spock says that the radiation source has disappeared. So they're just fucking running all over the place and getting nothing done, basically. And
Exactly.
Kirk is like, okay, let's go search the terrain for anything that stands out. And then they do, all together. The one time in this show when they should split up and they all go together.
Exactly.
They're just mobbing together, this fucking group of people. All looking at the same shit.
Also, this guy who seems to be a danger to the ship and the crew, do they not have handcuffs anymore in the future? Like, shouldn't this guy at least be,
we haven't seen anybody handcuffed
somewhat
yet.
detained if we're going to take him down to the planet?
Right. Like, tie his hands with wires or something. Fuck.
An invisible injury, something. So
Yeah,
I do
do
want to
something.
Like, you already
explain
suspect
my.
them of stealing the crystals.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Paul.
No, you're good. Go ahead. You're a person part. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just saying, like, obviously they know he stole the crystals. Why are they still putting enough trust into him to take him down to the planet unrestrained?
Well, first of all, obviously
Like,
it's
it
not
just doesn't make
no.
any
He's no
sense.
obviously. There's no evidence. We think he stole the crystals.
Who else would steal the crystals? Scotty? You think Scotty's stealing the crystals
we
and
didn't have any evidence.
breaking up and snorting them?
We think he might have did it, but they don't have any evidence he did it. So it's just they're like, oh, we're missing. You talked about it. They don't have any evidence as why they haven't took it to the next level. Technically,
Well, the only other alternative is that a member of the crew took the crystals, and I don't think Kirk's going to believe that happened.
No,
and,
I know.
And Spock would say logically that shit didn't happen.
yeah. I wish Spock would have said something about that in the first place.
Yeah.
So my beard issue I have that I can explain it away now. So in the interrogation scene, when Kirk is interrogating they're getting Crazy Eyes Lazarus after the crystals are stolen, his beard is like missing, bro. Like it is so
the crystals are the only thing that was stolen.
It's like 6 or 7 strands of hair. Like if you look at it, it's a cheap beard that you put him on, and it's not very much beard there. And then you see him a little bit later, and he has a full big beard. It's almost like something happened with the prop in the middle of the show, and they didn't notice it. And I noticed it bad. How he has a really thick beard one time, and half of it he has a little thin beard, and it's like a couple hairs, and it's a thick beard and thin beard. It goes back and forth with that a couple times. So.
Paul, is it a way to represent his alter ego coming through?
I don't know. I'm curious because I started noticing. If you start noticing once in a while, his beard is it is so distinctively different. If you pay attention to it, that it's really small and then it's huge later on. It's like Duck Dynasty and then then nothing. It's pretty much it's that big, but nobody is noticing it. It's about that bad.
One of the more important questions that I have is, should I grow that facial hair? Because I feel like I'm very limited on my style choices, but should I give that one a shot?
You should give that one a shot? I don't like that kind of stash,
I think I could do that. I think I could do it.
Oh, yeah? I can pull it
Yeah,
off.
I've always wanted my mustache to dip into my fucking cereal while I'm eating it. So maybe I'll just try that one.
Unlike you, I can't grow my facial hair is maximum length. It won't grow any bigger than this. I've been growing it for 3 years now. It hasn't changed. It's the same length. So either way, it sucks. But I wouldn't mind having this style though. But I never cut my facial hair again, so I ain't going for that.
In fact, it might not come back.
Yeah,
be careful
for
of
real.
that shit. So so they don't split up off the group. Well, they do eventually split up because Lazarus and Spock split off from the group, and Lazarus comes under attack again as the whole planet shakes, and as everything is shaking, the security team, like they're gripping their phasers real tight for some reason, and the shakiness is making them point their phasers directly at Kirk and Spock's faces. It's like, will someone please take these fucking things away from these guys? Like, they walk around, they point them at each other, they point them at their commanders. Like, just don't even let them have
they
anything.
don't have the right walk around
They
protocol.
basically broke every gun rule in the book.
Yeah, you point
every
the
time they
pointy
hold
end away from the people that you're working with.
And like, they're just gripping these things, hands on the trigger, while this like cataclysmic event is happening that's shaking the entire universe. Like, they're not just gonna squeeze that thing and take Kirk's head off.
Do they even wear holsters?
I think they just
They
clip
have
to
them on
their
the
belt.
side, kinda. Which, why did they have their weapons out to begin with?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. They were supposed to just be. Well, I think they're searching for like the air quotes beast. I think.
Oh, okay.
They're supposed to be out looking for the thing or the person that stole the dilithium crystals, and they're like, wow, this is just an
the
excuse to
Invisible
fucking shoot
Man?
something. Yeah. They thought maybe they're gonna actually get to do some shooting today. So.
Well, didn't Kirk? Oh, I think it was the episode where Kirk said something to him like, "We're not messing around. Shoot on sight or something." Didn't he?
Yeah, but he didn't give that order here.
Here, yeah, he didn't say that order.
That a little bit later on.
Did he do that at all in this episode? I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't think he did.
Yeah, I don't think he mentioned it at all.
I could be misremembering.
I know he
Yeah,
had
I
a
don't think
couple
he
of other
mentioned that on
episodes
this
where
one.
he said, phasers to kill, whatever, shoot on sight, yada yada.
Yeah. So old Lazarus is fighting, and we get that fucking stupid filter and the
That
camera
awesome
spin again.
negativity, baby. That awesome negative
Yeah.
filter. Whoa!
Yeah.
We got it. I like
And,
it, haters.
Kirk and two of the security guards, they run up to find Lazarus, but he's climbing this really tall rock above Kirk so they don't see him, and he accidentally knocks this big boulder down, and he warns Kirk. He's like, hey, look out, you're gonna get fucking smashed. And the boulder misses, and then Lazarus just fucking takes a nosedive off the rock for some reason.
No,
He just
nah,
like face
he went
plants
to
on
fall
that
off
thing.
cliff.
He dies. He's like, wee.
Yeah. He
You're
went
like,
for the
what?
old fucking. He
You're
went
like,
for the
what's
Chris
going
Benoit
on?
headbutt and just headbutted the fucking ground.
Dude, I don't get what happened. Like, it sucks because you don't see, like, they didn't show it. All you see is them flying out. You don't get to see what happened. So it makes it even more hilarious. It looks like he like jumped. Like he just jumped.
Right.
He jumped.
Why is it that in shows like this, when people are going to fall off something, they fucking jump? Like, just fall down. Why do you need to jump to make it that much worse?
Yeah, it looks hilarious. I like it. Oh man, that's funny.
Apparently, Lazarus' only weakness is the side of a cliff. He likes to fall off real
Every
high.
time he's up there, he fucking passes out and falls off.
If you guys kind of notice, this is all actually the same planet that they fought the Gorn in.
I think pretty much every fucking. They have like 3 sceneries. They have like desert with rocks, and then Ohio, and that's pretty much it. And I feel like they just go shoot at the same
Ohio.
locations
Yeah.
every time. So they go take Lazarus back to the Enterprise, and he wakes up in the sick bay again. And Kirk is like, "Hey, thanks for saving my life after you almost took my life with that fucking boulder. It's like, you kicked it down on me, but then you told me to get out of the way, so I owe you." But he says that he does have some questions for Lazarus, and he says that the computer says what Spock says. The computer says that he's a liar, and that there's no planet that he said that he came from at the earlier screening, and that there never was one. And he demands the truth, and Lazarus is like, "All right, I'll tell you the truth." And he says that the planet beneath them is actually his planet, and that his planet is a time ship, and that he's a time traveler, or his ship is a time ship, and he's a time traveler. I must have written that down wrong.
So he's the Doctor from Doctor Who?
Yeah, I think it's his
Apparently.
planet. It's his planet, and he's a time traveler.
Yeah, it's his planet, and the ship is that's right. I must have had a typo in here, but
the
he's a
ship is a
traveler.
time ship.
Yeah. And he says that he's been chasing the creature through time, and then he asks Kirk for help again. And Kirk's like, listen, I got 430 other people to worry about, and I just want to know where the damn crystals are. And so this is where McCoy steps in. He's like, look, he needs to rest. And so you and this other security homie here need to get the fuck out of my sick bay. So they do. They all just fucking leave.
Every once in a while, we got to remember that no matter what Kirk does, the McCoy's domain is the doctor's lounge, is a bot, and whatever he says goes.
Yeah,
multiple times he's told Kirk to quit interrogating somebody. The same thing to Khan, too. Back when Kirk was talking to Khan, he's like, yo, he's not feeling great. Give him time to heal up before you talk to him. And that's one thing I always kind of thought was cool they got about him that doctors kind of do even nowadays, which I thought was kind of cool they did about him.
Yeah, and what I thought was really great is McCoy's like, yeah, don't worry about this. I'm going to make sure he doesn't go anywhere. And then McCoy leaves and Lazarus rolls off the fucking bed and he just leaves. He just walks right out the fucking door.
Like 5 seconds later.
Yeah, didn't even give him like a full minute.
Yeah, no, he good. I got him. And then turn him back immediately.
Right. But Lazarus does go to leave and he comes under attack again. And then we cut to the briefing room where Kirk and Spock are talking about. They do a lot of just like really quick recapping where they're just kind of talking shit over. And Spock notes that their ship's instruments are able to locate and identify any object in their universe, but they can't identify the source of the radiation. And apparently they also can't identify where the fucking dilithium crystals are. Tune those things into those. You can locate anything in the universe, but you can't find something that's on your ship. And that's what you were talking about earlier, Paul.
Okay,
that's my similar note. It's like their ship can do any of this shit except for the one thing they need it to do.
Yeah, but I thought they said could they not find them as in like they're in the other universe?
Well, they didn't know that,
they couldn't find them as in they just as they were nowhere to be found.
Yeah, I think they were just nowhere to be found right now.
Okay,
and we never got an explanation as if they were in universe 1 or universe B, but they didn't even try. Like you're saying you have this instrument that can lock onto anything in the universe, and you don't bother to scan your own damn ship to figure out where your crystals are.
Yeah,
or scan the planet.
I get what you're saying.
But they do agree that the source of radiation isn't from or even in their own universe, but from outside their universe. And then they talk about what would happen if two universes came into contact with each other. And they just kind of move on to talk about the mental state of Lazarus. And Spock says that Lazarus acts as if he were two completely different men. And then they basically agree, like, yeah, Lazarus must have like split personality disorder or something. And he's possible, but they say he's possibly traveling back and forth through two universes, which they just kind of, it's like they were just high and just like spitballing. They're like, bro, what if he's just two guys traveling through the universe, like two universes? Like they had no logical reason to get to where they are.
Yeah, like they're thinking opposite of what they should be thinking. Like, let's just throw some stuff back and forth. Like that could make sense if that seems impossible. So that's probably it. But it's most like there's no way it's that, so it has to be that. Like they're trying to think of the worst, crazy scenario, and somehow they're all making sense. Like every time they think of something more crazy, they're like, "Oh, well, that actually makes sense."
Yeah, and it's funny that Kirk is just going along with this too, and it's funny that Spock is going along with this. Like logically, that I think would be the least probable thing that's happening.
Yeah, I think he's like whatever. I think this is impossible to happen. Most likely not happen. That's probably what's happening right now because that seems to be happening.
Yeah,
I like it. But I think the one thing about it, though, it's a lot of, like, them back and forth together. So it's, like, maybe a minute or two of just them talking. And somehow I don't understand what they're saying by far. I don't get it. But I'm not so annoyed that I'm like, yo, they've been talking for 2 or 3 minutes about nothing that I understand.
Yeah. They were going after a big idea for this episode.
Yep.
Yeah, they really did go after a big one.
Yep.
So Kirk just wonders, he's like, all right, well then what is Lazarus's purpose here? And Spock actually calls him Jim again. And he says that madness has no purpose or reason, but it may have a goal. And then they just agree that Lazarus has to be either contained or killed because if the two Lazaruses meet, it could destroy both universes. So now they're just like they're just dead set on this idea that, there's two of them and they're traveling back and forth between universes.
And what a great quote from Spock, too.
Yeah, that's his quote of the episode.
Quote episode, yeah. What another great quote. Every time he does these great quotes, I like him. I like whoever does the writing for these big quotes for him.
My favorite was that when he called him a liar.
Yeah, that's another good one.
Nah, that was mean.
Straight to the point. Like, no, you're full of bullshit.
Yeah, but no, it's more about the big like thought provoking quotes he has, like madness has no reason. It's like that actually makes a lot of sense if you think about the way the world is in a way. Like it has a goal. A lot of times madness is around, and it's like you think it don't make any sense, but there's a goal, there's a reason behind, there's a goal behind it. So that's really, really cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think that when Kirk asked what Lazarus's purpose was there, Spock should have been like, "Well, Kirk, some men aren't looking for anything logical like money, and they can't be bought or bullied or reasoned or negotiated with. Some men just want to watch the world burn."
And it's funny you mention that because that's
his
exactly what he just said. Actually, like that pretty much, like, what a great quote by you, by the way. Pick up, because that's literally how when I heard that the madness thing, I thought about that quote. That's literally what I transferred it to in my head. Like that's exactly how I saw it. That's really cool.
So elsewhere, old Lazarus is wandering through a corridor, and he gets to this little panel on the wall, and he pulls out. So he just opens up this panel and starts yanking out fuses, and for some reason that causes it to start smoking. And then we cut to like the engineering room where their equipment starts smoking and sparking as well. So the two engineers in there, they leave the room and they call for help. And as they like leave the room, Lazarus kind of sneaks into the smoke-filled room. And Kirk and Spock get there as the fire is being contained, and they conclude that Lazarus must have done it to get the crystals. They're like, damn, he's a sneaky one. So we go to Lazarus, who goes into the transporter room, and he attacks the engineer there and defeats him. And he beams himself off the ship just as Kirk and Spock are kind of figuring out what's going on. Because Kirk is like, oh yeah, he's probably headed to the transporter room right now. And like, he wasn't wrong.
Which, when Kirk enters the room, the guy's already back up and doesn't say a word to Kirk about being attacked.
Not at all.
Oh, I didn't even
Well, was it the same guy? Because I thought maybe he would have I thought it was one of those things that they just decided not to show, and like you could assume that, okay, he sees that guy, get me another one kind of thing.
I don't know. He doesn't even give any kind of quotes or give any kind of notice to it at all, so reference to it at all.
He didn't ask if he was okay. He's like, beam me down. Like, dude, I just got attacked.
Right.
Like, I'll beam you down, but ask if I'm okay at least.
Yeah.
Kirk's like, don't make me go over there because I will fucking beam you down and not with the transporter.
He's like, you'll be hitting that ground again.
And he's like, you call that attack? Do you want to see an attack? Like, they'll give you a reason to cry. Yeah, so we go down to the planet, and Lazarus returns to his ship, and he starts putting the dilithium crystals in it. And they didn't look anything like I thought they would. I didn't know what they would look like, but I didn't think they would look like that. And Kirk gets beamed down to the planet as Lazarus is finishing up. So Kirk approaches him in the ship, and he reaches in to grab Lazarus, and Lazarus is like, no, not you. And then Kirk just like disappears. And I was like, fuck, dude. Like, I thought Kirk was time traveling now. So I was pretty sure that now Kirk is going to go back in time, and he's going to start absorbing people to become perfect Kirk. And then he's going to have to fight the Z fighters, and it's going to be this whole thing. But that's not what happened.
Perfect, huh? Even better than what he is.
Well, wouldn't he be super? Wouldn't he be super perfect Kirk? Because he's already pretty perfect.
Yeah, he might be super perfect Kirk. Yep.
He come back and make our boy Spock look like an idiot.
How many people do you think listening to this are going to get that reference?
Anybody
I hope
who's
at least one.
A true nerd?
Yeah, it's Dan. Dan's gonna listen to it, and he's gonna get it.
Dan's gonna be like, I got it. I got that joke.
Yeah,
I
got that reference.
Does that mean Lazarus is Trunks?
Oh my god!
No, he's not. He's not cool enough.
He's in a spaceship. He's in a spaceship like Trunks too. I don't know. I think that kind of works. He's in a goofy spaceship. Nah, the other Lazarus is though. I think.
Yeah, Trunks is too cool for that.
Yeah,
by far. He has better looking. He has better hair.
Yeah.
Plus, Trunks should have a cooler beard because the beard is weird.
Yeah, it really is. That's a good MGK reference, by the way. And
yeah.
So we go to a commercial break after that, and we come back, and Kirk is in the fucking negative dimension, running around in slow motion, just running back and forth. They're like, "Listen, Shatner, for this scene, we just need you to run back and forth down this hallway, and then we're just going to slow it down."
What a cool effect! It was so amazing.
No, it's not cool.
It's cool again.
They're like, we're just going to slow it down. We're going to give it a negative filter. You just run around
Because
and look
it's so
confused for a
cool,
second.
we're gonna slow it down so you keep seeing more and more of it. It is so cool. We're gonna make it slow motion so you can see it even longer because we know how cool it is, and we want you to be able to see it as long as possible.
Thank God. Thank God.
Sorry.
Slow motion.
Thank you, Paramount.
Sorry, ADD moment
down,
here, but I'm like, maybe
as a matter of fact,
got into Scotty's stash.
As a matter of fact, let's Zack Snyder verse in this one in slow motion. Make it so slow, like the Flash.
3 hours of this.
Yeah. I'm slowing this down forever. I'm watching this episode in slow motion. Me in the negative zone, just.
Yep. Do you want to film a short
Baywatch got
for the
their idea
Twitter?
of running in slow motion.
Film it short with the negative zone?
Yeah, with you just running down a hallway back and forth, and we'll just flip it in the negative.
I will gladly do the negative zone
I'll
real
toss the
slow.
negative. I'll slow it down. You can run around for a little bit.
But I want that like that dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun,
I will grab the music from that, and we'll use that.
like I'm about to score a touchdown, like Al Bundy style. Just,
Is that going to go up on Twitter?
I mean, yeah, I would. I would throw it up there in a heartbeat. So we get the weird nebula effect again, and Kirk wakes up on a planet at night. He just wakes up and he looks around. He's like, "Fuck, that was some really good LSD. I need to do that more often."
Scotty's got the good shit.
He got it from Scotty, and he finds Lazarus's ship, and a fully healed Lazarus greets him. And Kirk is like, "Oh, you're not crazy as shit. We must be in a parallel universe." And he confirms his theory about the two Lazaruses meeting and destroying both universes. And Kirk says that crazy Lazarus has 2 more crystals. And so normal Lazarus is like, yeah, we should probably put a stop to him, I guess. And then we do this. I don't know why they do this thing, but we stay at this scene, but it's just like a little bit later. Like they just stood around and didn't say anything for a half hour. And then they're like, maybe we should talk about this. And good Lazarus says that the crazy one of him is only going to need about 10 more minutes to recharge the crystals or re-energize the crystals. And he explains everything about the negative warp, and he says that the safety room between universes, or he talks about the safety room between universes, which is where Kirk just came out of. And he says that corridor is basically like a prison with explosives at the door. And if you open the door, the explosives might go off, but if you stay inside, then both universes are going to be fine. And he says that if crazy Lazarus goes into the other universe and meets regular Lazarus, the universes are going to be destroyed, basically. So if they meet in the corridor between universes, then everything's going to be fine. So it's really a kind of, not really convoluted, just interesting take on the whole universe thing. Like basically there's this hallway you have to walk through, and if you get through the other side, you're going to destroy both of them. But if you meet yourself in the hallway, then everything is fine.
Yeah, like the multiverse theory, or like MCU nerd talk. But here's my issue with this whole thing. Like, for such I'm gonna already get my take. For such a great episode, which I think this episode is very written well, clever, great, interesting. I couldn't follow. I followed stuff. This is the first time in the episode I really couldn't follow. Like, I know they try to make it real simple to explain. I don't know. I just think the idea was so big that I really couldn't follow it.
Yeah, they didn't do a great idea of explaining it.
Yeah, I got a little confused.
Great job,
with here and there because I didn't understand how did they meet in the first place? Like, why did they meet? I don't get. Did he accidentally do a experiment and found each other? Now he's like, there's a reason why they keep getting near each other. Why are they near each other? Like, why is the other crazy Lazarus even trying to kill this one? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't understand.
Okay. That's actually where we are now. So, like, good Lazarus is talking to Kirk, and he explains that, his people basically found a way to do this, like, interdimensional travel. And when crazy Lazarus found out about it, he just kind of lost his shit and became obsessed with the idea of destroying the sane Lazarus, because apparently he had just watched One with Jet Li, and he thought that if he went to the universes and killed all the other ones, he was going to be the one. But yeah, he went crazy, and his mind is just like struggling to comprehend that there are other versions of him, and so he wants to go kill this other one that he knows of, even if it means destroying both universes. So like basically,
but I don't understand why would you even get to that level? Like, I don't understand the idea of killing the other one. Like, why?
Because he lost his shit. He just can't comprehend this whole multi-universe thing, and that's just where he ended, I guess.
Yeah, see, I think I just couldn't wrap my head around the idea of him. Like, I can understand if, like, like if there's a TV show called Friends, where the opposite version of the other guy comes through time and like kidnaps one's son. I mean, no, like one guy from another parallel universe goes to another parallel universe and kidnaps his other parallel son, and he comes back, and then they have a war with each other. So they're having a war because you stole, you came and stole my French. Oh, you came and stole my son, so now we're at war with each other. Like that makes sense to me. I just can't. The guy just went mad, so he wanted to kill himself. That's what I can't really wrap my head.
He's just basically like, there can only be one version of me because like this is too fucking crazy, and I want to be the only one.
Then he would have to go. Then how many universes are there? He had to go. If he had to kill this,
they don't know. He only knows of the one
for real.
He only knows of the one.
Jet Li, the one for real. He had to be kill like 200 versions of himself. Like every time he goes somewhere, I don't understand.
Yeah, and then eventually they're gonna trap him on a prison planet, and he's gonna be like, "I am Lazarus. I am nobody's beach," and then he's just gonna fucking fight everybody.
Dude, he's so terrible speaking English, by the way. That quote was terrible.
Yeah, but I love that movie.
But I'll take it, though.
I love that movie.
Though.
It's such a good fucking movie.
That quote, he can barely speak English, so it's a terrible.
Nobody's beach.
He says it's terrible, but it's funny. I'm nobody's beach. It sounds like he says beach, honestly.
Yeah. And he's right. He is nobody's beach. He doesn't even have any sand or water or anything. Yeah. Kirk and Good Lazarus, they make a plan for Kirk to go back to his universe and find Crazy Lazarus and get him into the corridor so that regular, sane Lazarus can trap himself there with the crazy one. And then he tells Kirk to destroy the ship, which would destroy ships in both universes, which I don't understand. And that the Lazarus is going to be trapped. Both Lazaruses will be trapped in the corridor for all time. And Kirk just questions Lazarus's sacrifice. He's like, "Hey, that's a pretty high that's a lot to do, basically." And Lazarus says that he doesn't think that it's a high price to pay for the safety of the two universes. Which I don't know why destroying one ship would destroy both ships like that. It's not like it's a time thing.
I don't understand it. I just, like I said, a lot of this episode, like I said, it's really good. It's just some of the ideas I didn't understand, and I thought with everything with it being such a cool original idea, I gave him a pass because I knew that. I gave him a pass because I knew that they were going for something very ambitious, and I knew that I wouldn't understand a lot of it. But it was so ambitious in a way I was like, "Oh, this is really a really good idea." So
right. So then we get my favorite scene in this entire episode, where Kirk goes back to his own universe to find Spock and the security team have surrounded Lazarus at his ship. So Kirk goes up and attacks Lazarus, and they have this little fight. And Spock and the security team do absolutely nothing. They just stand there and watch him get his ass beat for a minute.
No. He says, "Stand back while I fight this dude one-on-one."
Right.
With the whole universe's fate in hand. Because I am Super Kirk, superhuman, and I shall save the world by myself, even though my homies and Spock is sitting there. Are you freaking kidding me?
Well, and the thing is, too, though, like,
perfect,
he doesn't say stand back for like the first 10 seconds of the fight, and they didn't lift a fucking finger. Like they weren't doing anything, and he's just like, stand back. Like, no, we were. It's cool. We already weren't doing shit. Like we're gonna continue to do nothing.
We know better. We don't get in your fights. Like no, sometimes in life you gotta jump somebody with your boy. Okay, your boy's sitting there fighting. Old dude's stronger. The universe is online. Oh, you go
Two
first.
Universes.
No. Be rude. Step in. Punch your dude in the mouth real quick. Throw him in the. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
He knocked out now. Let me knock him out real quick. What are we doing? Throw him in the hole. Okay, throw him in the hole.
Well,
Vulcan nerve pinch
could
that
have gone up and done
motherfucker.
like the Vulcan pinch and knocked him out.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like it's just and once again, my only slight about this show is superhuman Kirk. That's the only about every episode. It's always Superhuman Kirk to me. That's the only thing I always.
He was getting choked out there for a second, and then I actually there was a few seconds there where Lazarus grabbed him by the throat and threw him on like the hood of that ship, and then I thought they were just going to start fucking because it was getting real steamy right there. Like they were getting in position that Kirk's like, yeah, Lazarus choked me a little bit.
Maybe need more quality time, sir, because if you think you're getting enjoying the fight a little too much.
They both need to go to that corridor alone, just get that negative spinning fucking sex, man.
Let's go to the corridor together. Okay.
Yeah, so,
oh my gosh!
So Kirk does end up winning the fight, and he tosses Lazarus into the corridor, and then they take the dilithium crystals and they get ready to destroy the ship. And actually, one of my favorite quotes of this episode, for real though, is as they're getting ready to destroy the ship, like, or they're going to go back to their ship, Spock asks Kirk, he says, well, what of Lazarus? And Kirk says, what of Lazarus? Like, what of Lazarus? Not what of, but like, what of Lazarus? So like, yeah, like talk about the other one.
Yeah, like what of Lazarus? Whatever. Like he ain't nothing.
No, I took it more as like Kirk is like, oh, what about the Lazarus we just tossed in, and Kirk is more like, well, like what about the other one? Like that's the one we should be concerned about.
Okay, see, I took it as in like he said, what of Lazarus? And like when you say like he's irrelevant. Like what of Lazarus? Like he,
yeah.
Like,
Well, his emphasis was on Lazarus though, so that's why I think he's talking about the other one.
And I took it, so Kirk seemed bothered by Lazarus, good Lazarus, being stuck in a pocket universe between two universes for all of time. Like he seemed bothered by it.
So
that's the way I took it as well.
A little bit different.
Yeah, that's the same way I took it.
I think we all kind of took it a little bit differently. So
yeah, so we're on the Enterprise just a little bit later, and they fire their phasers at the ship and they destroy it, which traps the two Lazaruses in the corridor together for all time. And boy, did it take them a second to wreck that tiny ass ship. Like those dudes blew up a fucking Romulan ship with no issues. Like they're just they're blowing up.
Listen,
the Klingon ship with no issues.
For all the goofy dumb issues they have here in this episode. We're giving you guys a pass. You guys are so it's okay. We're giving you a pass for the dumb laser beam you had, and then plus, okay. Another situation here. Okay, you got to blow the ship up, right? Why aren't you rigging something to blow the ship up before you go to your own ship? Did we transport it there really fast and hurt blow it up? Like, how much time was between you going up there to the ship and blowing this little ship up?
Yeah,
because for me, they weren't moving at a high rate of speed again. Like, it didn't look like they were in a hurry to blow the ship up.
Well, and enough time passed before Kirk got philosophical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
According to the way the Enterprise works, though, they could have pulled like 3 fuses out of that little ship and it would have just blown itself up. So that's what was about to happen to the Enterprise.
Yeah, for real. I don't know. It's one of those things where I thought, but maybe you can't even enter the ship without, like, because remember, I know, so when he went to the doorway, he got time traveled. So maybe he was scared if he went to the doorway again, it would time travel him, or not time, back to the other side again. Or dimensional travel, not time travel, whatever it is. Because I don't understand. Because another thing I understand, like when Kirk went to the door, he says, "No, not you." And then he goes to him and he transports to the other Lazarus. I'm like, why didn't the first Lazarus transport when he went inside?
Because it used all the energy in the crystals and he had to recharge them.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. Because regular Lazarus told Kirk that he had to it was going to take him like 10 minutes to re-energize those crystals before, and then he would be able to make that jump as well.
Yeah. See, I can see a lot of small subtle things I didn't understand.
Yeah. So they continue their journey, and Kirk gets this really good scene where he wonders about what it would be like to be trapped forever with a madman at your throat until time itself came to a stop, or until they starve to death, I guess. And Spock says that if he's just like, hey, like, don't worry about it, man. The universe is safe. And Kirk just says, well, for you and me, but what of Lazarus? And then he just repeats it again. He's like, what of Lazarus? So, he's really feeling bad about good guy Lazarus being stuck there for all the time. But I feel like he'll forget about it by the next episode.
Do you think he's concerned about both their lives, not not the good one?
Yeah, probably both of them, yeah. But I think he's more concerned about the good one. Because, dude, eventually you're going to lose your fucking mind in that place. First of all, it's all negative and it's always spinning around. And then you're trapped with a madman trying to kill you in there and you can never get out.
Yep. I understand that part too.
Yep. So that was it. They go on to their next adventure, and that's really all. Dan, you want to give us your thoughts on this one?
Yeah. I thought it was kind of I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this episode, to be quite honest. I'm in the middle of the road for it. I like the concepts, the big ideas that they were going for. I thought they were poorly executed and needed more explanation. So, I'd give it like a 5 or 6. I probably wouldn't watch it again unless I was trying to absorb it better a second time viewing. That'd probably be the only reason I'd watch this episode again.
Yeah, I'm right there with you 100%. Good idea, not great execution. I started off actually really hating this episode, but then by the end of it, I was like, okay, like it really started to come through in the final act, once I understood that it wasn't just like a Jekyll and Hyde story. But it just suffered from way too much build up, and they needed more time in the middle and in the end to really bring that conclusion together. I feel like with just their idea here, this could have been a movie Like it needed movie length to really flesh out and explain everything that was going on.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, the 2 universe thing and the going back and forth and the effect of it in the beginning was was not great. And like I feel like if it was like movie length, then it would have been a lot better. So but yeah, I agree with you 100%. It's like a 5 or a 6 for me on a scale of 10. And now we're gonna go to Paul. Paul, what do you think about that?
All right. Just like the last episode, which you guys didn't get to hear my opinion on, I actually like this episode. Like, I think we're on a trend of episodes I like. Like, the concept of this episode was so amazing and original of an idea. I think about when it came out in my head a lot because I'm a writer, so I kind of write a lot. And what an original, cool way of doing something at that time. You got to think about this. 67, like 67, they were doing space things and whatever like that, and there were always these really big ideas out there. But the idea that the idea of all this scientific stuff being put in there, the issue was it didn't explain it well. So like I thought the idea was amazing. I thought, oh, this episode is really, really cool, and the concept really, really cool. But every time I found myself saying, huh, and then going back to hear them say it again. So I tried to understand. I kept saying, huh? And then hear it again, like, huh? And trying to think, like, what are they trying to do? Oh, okay, they mean this. So I found myself, like, almost, like, kind of, like, learning, trying to understand the dialogue at the same time. And I found that kind of annoying in a way. At the same time, like, I really like this episode because I give this show so much a pass for things that I wouldn't give other shows for a pass due to the age of the show and when it came out more than anything. So, like I said, I think they got really big concepts. I like everything about this episode. I think it was good, and I'm hoping that in the future we have more really big concepts of like I thought there's gonna be godlike power the whole time, and all of a sudden it changed on me to something I thought like, oh, I never even considered that being an idea or a reference. That's interesting, like I never even thought about that. Which is what the show happens to do a lot. Come up with these really good big ideas that just are really cool to me. I really enjoyed it, and I had a lot of fun with this episode, and I would love to have more.
All right. Well, with that said, we are moving on next week to season 1, episode 28, "The City on the Edge of Forever." And I have heard a lot of great things about this, and it's up there with one of those like you absolutely have to see this. Like it's a quintessential Star Trek episode. So I'm pretty pumped for that one. Paul, do you have a description on that one for us?
This sentence is so small for this one. It's going to be great. It says, Kirk and Spock go back in time to save McCoy.
Well, fuck. Yeah, I'm all into that, dude.
Yeah, that sounds like a good episode.
I'm all into that. Yeah.
That's literally the whole quote of the whole thing. So, synopsis. So, that explains it all right there. There's not really a lot to talk about.
Since you didn't get there for the end of it last week, we didn't get an end, like a synopsis for this episode. So I had no fucking clue what was going to go on, like what we were heading into this week.
Yeah, this one said, Kirk and Spock encounter a mysterious alien named Lazarus who claims to be hunting a ruthless, maniacal creature.
Okay, you know what? Having heard that one, I would have been more disappointed in what we got because that's not at all. I mean, it is, but like at the same time, it's like, yeah.
It sounds
a little misleading.
Kind of went wild.
It's a little misleading.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, that's going to be it for us this time, everybody. As always, Twitter at WWST_podcast, Gmail, WWSTpod@gmail.com. And we are wherever you find your favorite podcasts. And if you guys can do us a favor, it costs you absolutely nothing to just give us a rating. You don't even have to leave a comment. Just if you can rate on the app that you use to listen to us, we would really appreciate that. It just kind of helps us with, getting out there a little bit more. And plus, we like to see ratings, good or bad. So
we'd like to see what we're doing wrong, see if we can do better. Now that my microphone situation is better, maybe people won't complain about that. Nobody has though, but so in general, if you made it this far with us with my microphone better than it was before, then we know you really like us. So we love to hear you guys something. Share with us.
Yep.
Be our friend.
And we have like 2 more episodes left in this season, so I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on there. But as always, thank you guys for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Later.